Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie Fonseca and this is my assignment 5 video for COVID and early childhood education. When connecting to growing up in a pandemic and how COVID is affecting children's development and the things I already knew about children and their social, emotional, and their academic learning is affecting them in many ways. During this time of development, children are exploring a lot of sensory and learning how to share. When the pandemic hit, children were not allowed to share nor interact with one another because children had to social distance themselves from others. Wearing masks was also another problem because young children are learning different facial expressions. It's been 3 years, and as a teacher, there are so many children behind in development during daycares and schools. What extended my ideas throughout the podcast and pushed my thinking further was that how they mentioned about children not being taught how to share all due to COVID. I believe that they could have found a different method of teaching children how to share, and that was just that was just mind-blowing. Although I already knew that children had to social distance, children are not being taught how to share. And they will eventually have to learn how to share, which then might turn into a social anxiety or social problem. Children will gain anxiety because at the moment of COVID, children were being taught that sharing is bad, but that eventually they will have to learn this skill. Because of the podcast, they mentioned not sharing makes you a bad person. I also saw that's not really how you should tell children or tell children at all, because you're not a bad human for sharing. Us adults were selfish as well. As a teacher, and coming back to normal at the time was challenging for some students, and I saw the difference and how eventually they had to relearn that it's okay to sit with a friend and have a conversation. What is still challenging or confusing for me to get my mind around, I would have to say that I just have so many questions. It's like, what I'm confused about is, will that gap ever be filled? How are these children able to come back from such a trauma? Now, more than ever, I see a lot of children with speech delays and developmental milestone delays as well. I have also seen a lot of behavior issues within kindergarten classes. At the time of these kindergartners, they were about the age 2 when the pandemic hit, and that is a big gap that they need to bring back together. This is just a big topic, so I have a lot to say, but I just want to know what would happen if that gap is not filled. That's just mine. Goodbye.